Because why not? I guess. Well, I have a million reasons why not to, I guess, but I'll even keep the fan on. It's not really that big of a deal or anything, so I don't know. I turn this computer on. I had a laptop. I don't want to. This thing zooms in way too much when you go on Instagram. It like really hones in. I'm not one for that to have that happen or anything. I turned my desktop PC on, and compared to that laptop, that was a refurbished laptop that I had just finally been able to accumulate. It has an SSD hard drive, and that thing vrooms around like you wouldn't believe. This thing's been lagging in comparison. I've been noticing it a lot more. This Windows standard hard drive with Windows 10. Then I have a recording computer with Windows 8.1, and I don't even know what the registration process of that's going to be. Like, had like an auto re-register to avoid whatever happens when your Windows system is out of date and everything like that. But it needs to connect to the net every time to do that. I don't know. Let's hear the guitar. Messed up there. Doesn't matter. Had a pick. I had a pick. I put a graphic on it. It's not a very good graphic, but one thing that happened is that I put super glue over the graphic on the pick, and it has a nice feeling. I don't know. It's just every little tiny thing regarding instruments is very honed into recognizing and everything. So. One of the nights that this guitar sounds good. I mean, it has a different attitude for every situation. This guitar, it's very strange, isn't it? But it's one of the nights of playing it and just feeling it that I'm like reminded why I enjoy it so much. I look these guitars up all the time, even if they're the ones I'm not gonna like. I don't need any more guitars or anything. Having one guitar is all the guitars you need, really. But having a jumbo around, oh, I love it. I love having a jumbo guitar around. The bass does not sound as good as it does on the smaller body Yamahas and everything like that, but it's just something about the balanced sound across all the strings on a jumbo guitar. So fun. I don't know how it ever happened other than just seeing one for sale at the guitar store around here, and then being like a jumbo. So, it looks it looks like something wild, this particular guitar and everything. Before I still yet continue to get more guff for the style of tunings, I don't know, people say this and that about the tuning, and I don't really know what to say about it. As I hear alternate tuning, I prefer that. Open tuning, I don't prefer that, because it's not always with open styles or anything like that. The only thing is I'm my own person, and I wish I had a band around. I never had a band around, really, except for a few times. I miss that quite a bit, to be honest. But, so I'm my own person. It accompanies the style of playing rhythm to have it as a band setting. There's a lot more able to be going on reverberation-wise, and the sound is always a bit fuller. And I like to sing regarding that, and I like orchestrate music and soundtrack music rather than typical songwriting songs and song structures of, you know, what a regular song is and everything like that. So people tend to find it interesting at first and then find things to pick at eventually regarding it, but it's never been something where I ever want to go back to standard, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the lack of knowledge with music because it allows for a feeling sensation, kind of like, you know, feeling things out and going with the feeling of it. And it's like that with plants, and it's like that with certain bird species and everything. I just appreciate them for what they are, and, you know, hone in on all the different details without necessarily specifying and everything. And a person could learn to do all that and everything like that too, but then I'd start to develop this form of, you know, possibly following tradition or something like that. And, you know, I'm always just stuck in my own world anyway. There's no doubting that in any degree or anything. So another thing happened. I couldn't get any sleep, so it's coffee time and everything. So I don't know. Getting old. I don't like getting old. I want to get done with this life before I ever have that happen more quickly to me. It's just things I want to fulfill and everything. I say it yet again, I didn't really wish for life to fight me so much for fulfilling all of the visions and everything that I have. Monetarily, it's very strict, and you don't get funding anymore if you just want to do something that's theatric or anything like that. You have to have your special words of, you know, political identity stuff in there. It's not enough to just want to create something and tune into like something a little bit more of the Renaissance style and everything like that. You know, so I don't know. I don't presently really like the culture of the world that I live in today. I don't think there's any real directive for it. I think people are fighting their own demons, or people are fighting their own, you know, tensions and everything, rather than clearing things out and then creating from after clearing out all the stuff they have going on with themselves. So people point at other people, and it's them really egging on something going on with themselves a lot of the time, but not taking the time out to, you know, reassess and then adjust from that point. So who as a human being isn't guilty of that to some degree, you know, find a culprit to point at regarding that. I don't know. Well, I'm about to hit enter. Oh god, I don't really want to. I was posting a vlog thing. Is it weird to like want to post things and interact with people, but then like just not want to take all the arrows and everything just for existing as a person? It's very bizarre, isn't it? But what are you gonna do? I have to be around for somebody messing around with the water system tomorrow and everything, reinstalling something that got screwed up really quick by company. Companies have to serve so many people today that the customer satisfaction guarantee isn't really inked in to have a liability of, you know, pleasing the person that allows you to have several weeks with no hot water, and you have to reinstall the whole system because it breaks. So, I guess interesting. Another thing with the tuning style is that a piano accompanies a lot of the time when I actually had the access of doing multi-tracks and everything like that, so. Anyway, like I said, most of the things I'm doing anymore are going to be totally rogue and all that kind of stuff. I did get something sorted out finally, but I didn't really see what the discernment error was for why certain things had a bit of a tussle and all that kind of thing, other than me being me and others not understanding the approach of trying to make a little bit of a cork in a situation, you know, so. The vision in my head for what would be planned out for the Apophis music group would be something a little bit more gallant and freeform and festive and everything like that. The act of living, the catharsis of celebrating a life is enough of itself, rather than having a guideline of etching things out with the directive of maintaining the idea of things being completely important. So, what are you gonna do? Face is oily because I tried to moisturize my face so I don't feel like I'm dying from tiredness. So that's how it goes, you know. The Apophis Music Group would be something rather important. Maybe it would almost be like the Diogenes Club in some sort of way, but the faculty of finding the people with the mindset and gathering them together seems a little bit difficult, filtering through this sort of thing while so many other things are going on the planet. Really, the unending fight is oneself against really loaded with cash trust fund hipsters. It turns out that that's my dragon in this world today. Everybody has their own version of a dragon. Some of it's paperwork, some of it's liability, and this and that. Some of it's circumstances of the unforeseen and so on. Mine is having to go head to head with trust fund hipsters that are loaded with cash. And if only I had some of the recording equipment and everything that these people get written to them on grants at absolute snap of the fingers, because they know the right people. I had to work my butt off to get cameras that are just filming in way too dark atmosphere all the time, like you know, all the quirks of refurbished products. There's typically some sort of thing you have to work around with a refurbished product when you buy something that you can afford. So one of the recording cameras I have for video recording, every time I hit record, it's like a few drops back as far as the lighting goes most of the time. So if I'm like outdoors, it works fine, but it's like a few. That's why that one video I did that I've been trying to record, if I'm playing indoors somewhere or whatever, it like looks like pixelated out of its gourd or whatever. I don't know. This is very interesting information, to be quite honest, but theory about why rock music isn't pushed into popularity today is because it works for a valve. But you want me to put a space between actually answering the question and asking it? Do you want to know my, opinion about why rock music isn't pushed to the forefront today in the music industry? Well, I'll answer that question. It's because that music works as a sort of emotional and psychological and a stress valve release for the collective, and then people could actually feel good about themselves, and it's self-empowering in a way where eventually in the long run self-sufficiency comes out of that form of people being able to bond with each other and uplift each other regarding things like rock music, and it keeps people out of a state of consumer culture where all the other aspects of music genres seem to guide people into just buying products all the time, where more of a self-sufficient and DIY style of music allows people to be inventive and do it their own way and make their own things, make their own record labels, have a bonding between bands and everything where they're uplifting each other. It seems pretty snaky today how much of the music world goes people wanting to more so take each other out to be able to get certain lineup spots and everything like that. So this is rather interesting. Anyhow, okay, time to set that down. I'm exhausted. I want to do what I need to do in this life and be on with it. There's so many different things that I really do want to do. How are you going to do it, though? In this culture, I accidentally purchased this Pokemon shirt. I had no clue until I got home. It said Poke and then Mon on the back. I thought it was just something completely different, but I like it if it's okay. I give it a 8.2 out of 10. I don't even care that it's a Pokemon shirt. That's right. I said it incorrectly. The whole community is going to really be in upheaval. That's alright. Anyhow, I don't know. I'm pulled in a million different directions at once, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel for any of these directions that I pursue myself towards or anything. But that's okay. I want to write some short stories pretty soon and all that kind of stuff. But I need to go to a county that doesn't want me D-E-A-D just for E-X-I-S-T-I-N-G. I don't know. I'm tired of it. I really gotta go somewhere else. I thought about taking a drive up to Auburn or something like that and seeing what's going on up that way. You know, I just want to meet some people and jam and have fun and everything like that and not feel like it's so much of an eye for an eye kind of thing. So, I don't consider anybody close around here in this area. And, you know, I don't know. If you're at the edge, if you're like slipping off, I don't know why you'd be on the edge of a cliff anyway, but you're about to fall, I feel like people would throw dust at you rather than try to keep you from tipping like a cow in the nighttime. Pushed by the mischievous, I suppose you'd say. Well, I don't know. I really want to write some music tonight. I want to sit down. There's like no room. I have all the stuff moved over into this room because tomorrow people have to come and try to fix the water heater that just broke out of nowhere by some company that has a rather questionable slogan. It didn't even last more than a whole year, so I gotta stay awake for that. I thought I'd be able to get a little bit of some rest and, you know, be able to attend some things tomorrow and everything, but since I know I have to do something tomorrow, I'm not gonna sleep throughout the entire night anyway, and then it's gonna just keep pushing myself. So going to social counseling and everything for like social anxiety and sleep issues and everything like that doesn't help at all. I don't know how that person gets paid money whatsoever, you know, but that's okay. If I knew any better, I'd run out into the wild of the night and howl into the skies and everything like that, but I might need to drink a few more cups of coffee to do that kind of thing. Anyhow, so that's my vlog on Facebook.com.